The leap to Yachtel. Alphino seems eager to review your journey thus far. Oh, is this like are we officially in the middle of the quest lines? I'm sure the others will be along shortly. I do hope everyone has rested well. Voice cutscene? We have not been getting a lot of voice cutscenes. This looks already like it's not going to be voiced. You know how you can kind of tell with certain cutscenes, like the way they start? Unless I'm wrong. No, I'm not wrong. And it's with the mission music too. Now that we have refreshed ourselves somewhat, let us consider all claimants as they currently stand. Xibruq Ja and Kona have completed every feat thus far and hold 5 keystones apiece. Wuk Lamat should be equal with them, but for Mamool Ja's thievery, which has left us one short. A conniving braggart didn't so much as lift a finger for the feat of proof and wreaked havoc for the feat of ice. You can't have more than 3 keystones at most. Why is he even in the running? I'm still gonna keep saying this until somebody mentions it in the story. He may think he can simply steal what he needs to win, but he's sorely mistaken. I will be taking back what's mine. This I swear. I fear that reclaiming your keystone may not be enough. That is, if Mamool Ja's unleashing of Valgramond is any indication. Using his lead, I anticipate he will move to obtain the remaining keystones before disrupting his rival's attempts. We may all find ourselves being forced to take from one another. Are we really going to steal? We're not the type that steals, though. Plot-wise, I mean, I could steal, but narratively, they're not going to have the Warrior of Light do that. I can't say I'd be comfortable with that. But neither will I surrender my claim to the throne so easily. If it's for the sake of preserving the happiness of my people, I'll do what I must. The last 2 keystones we require are those of the Lay of Repast and the Lay of the Brotherhood. The former depicts the cessation of hostilities between the Mamool Ja and the Xibruq in the forests of Yachtel, specifically near a village called Xibruq. That's where I was born, if you recall. I haven't been back there since Papa took me in when I was a baby. Where the Lay of the Brotherhood takes place, however, is unclear. In the saga, it said that a foreign explorer came to seek an audience with the Dawn Servant, but little more than that. Is that the Ketenram guy? Eorzea has a similar tale. The explorer Ketenram befriended a 2-headed king known as the Autarch before commencing his travels across Turali. He journeyed here several times afterwards, but was ultimately lost at sea. At least that is the commonly held belief. The way that they're saying they don't know what happened to that guy makes me think that he's not actually dead. Prove me wrong, but this is not the first time they've been like, well, but that's what we heard. Your 2-headed king certainly sounds like Papa, so this Ketenram fellow must have come to Tuliolal. But if he indeed arrived some 80 years ago, the capital may not have been built yet. Vestiges of Yakhui architecture notwithstanding. Wait, you said Autarch, didn't you? Then Ketenram must have met the Dawn Servant in Mamuk. Mamuk, is that a city? One of the grandest in Turali once upon a time, and the seat of the Mamool Ja's homeland. It too lies in Yachtel, not far from Xibruq. Then all things considered, Yachtel seems the obvious choice for our next destination. From here, the safest method of travel is by dirigible. We should make for the landing once our preparations are complete. We're riding in one of Kona's balloons? They can't be any worse than ships, can they? Well, hate to tell you, but you can also get seasick, well, motion sick in the air. But here we go. That's probably gonna happen. Now that I've put it out there. Ugh. There has to be some magical... I mean, they make potions and spells and shit. You telling me there's not some concoction you could take that would, like, settle your stomach? Couldn't we get some of the, that whatever, that lassie drink that Estinian got us in Endwalker? Just to have her drink that so that she wouldn't puke. I mean, if it works for etheric sickness, maybe it works for whatchamacallit, motion sickness. Oh, they're big. They definitely look like, they remind me of the Ixal balloons back in fucking Heaven's Word. The next flight to Yaktel will be leaving shortly. Passengers are asked to keep hands, legs, and luggage inside the dirigible at all times. This actually sounds like a cover you would hear, like if you got like a jazz like cover CD for like Square Enix music. Are we sure that thing will stay in the air all the way to Yaktel? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's fine. Just get in the boat. Not the boat. Get in the big balloon. Are you ready? Bags packed and a goodbye said? There's no going back once we lift off. Yeah? Not that I'm nervous or anything. I'm just making sure that you're not nervous. Wuk Lamat, am I going to be able to scold her? I thought she said she was going to stop doing the whole, you know, putting up a front and pretending to be tough. Come on. Stop being an orange cat. Oh, who am I kidding? My knees won't stop shaking. Hey, will you hold my hand? Just till I settle my nerves. Hold your hand? Oh, wait! This is, of course, maybe ask Aaronville.
Maybe ask Aaronville?
Yes, why don't you guys hang out? That stick in the mud, he'd never let me live it down. There she is, third promise. Just wait a moment. The little pelu. Mabloon Tobly, of course. I'll wait as long as you need. Oh, she's using that as an excuse to not get on the balloon. Sorry to delay you, but we were able to discover the origin of Kral's earring. Is that so? You said before it gained popularity in Yaktaral as a protective ward for travelers, correct? That's right. We tracked down the elderly merchant whom first sales are attributed. According to him, the design imitates an accessory worn by a foreign mage he met at a market some 20 years ago. Little did he know that charming taste of salt would prove to be a commercial triumph. A foreign mage wearing this earring could only be grandfather. Did the merchant happen to mention which market? One in Yaktel, to where it seems you're already bound. What luck! Then I shall seek my next clue once we arrive. Is it mere coincidence that brought my grandfather here, or yet another discovery to look forward to? So she's got her own little side quest while we're doing the main stuff. Thank you both for coming all this way. Anything for the third promise. Good luck with the rest of the rite. Thanks. I won't let you down. I've just got to board this dirigible and I'm as good as there. Last call for passengers to Yaktel. I don't need to hold her hand, right? Okay. I really hope she wins. Yaktel will test her mettle without a doubt. The next Dawn servant must be willing to bear the full weight of this nation's history, no matter how heavy it may be. Oh, something that we don't know.
The fierce Xibruq hunters who laid claim to this land call it the Azure Forest, Yaktel. Battered by meteors in ancient times and colored mesmerizing shades of blue and green by nature, it is easy to understand why the place is so named.
Wait, how does it go from... Is there like an underground version It looks normal here. But then other stuff look like Tron colors. It's all like cyan and
It is
blue.
here, where the Xibruq and Mamool Ja once battled for dominance, that the right of succession would reach its climax.
Did she barf? She's got to do something about that. I would think a leader's going to need to travel a lot.
Are you all right?
I've never been good with heights.
The vegetation is far denser than in Kozamautka.
That's how he says it? Azamauka? Maybe I've been saying it wrong.
I suggest you pay more attention to the ground, unless you want to walk straight into a cenote.
A what?
A cenote?
Oh, she didn't say that the same either. He just said it, and she purposely said it like a different way.
Sinkholes filled with rain and groundwater.
Oh.
Many meteors fell here long ago, it is said, and after they struck the Earth, it became susceptible to erosion.
Why was this place like a magnet for meteors?
Deep as some of the pits are, you'll not climb out in a hurry should you take a tumble. So, don't take a tumble.
Uh-oh. This is basically guaranteed that she's gonna fall into one now. You mentioned it this many times.
It was one time.
Oh, she already fell into it before?
Is the Xibruq community depicted in the Lay of Repast close by?
Aye. We need but follow the path a short way west.
Right. I can't stand here with my knees knocking forever. Let's get going.
A new area. A new map. Let's see, what does this look like? I've been noticing, so the past two maps did this thing where it kind of reminded me of like Heaven's Ward maps, where it's like it's split almost like completely halfway through the map so that you can't access the other one until like you find some alternate way of getting into the other side of the map like later. All right, so this is the land of, what is it? A bunch of different things? It's Hrothgar's and Makote and Mamool Ja. Should be pretty interesting. With thicker vegetation comes reduced visibility. I advise you to keep someone in sight at all times. Good, everybody's accounted for. Xibruq is up ahead. Let's be on our way. Xibruq. Why are they hiding over here? Oh, it's the sinkhole. Oh, this looks like... Oh, okay, it's not as deep. There's that one famous one. Is it in like National Geographic or something? Where you don't even see the bottom. I've seen a clip of this guy just going, woo! And then he just like jumps into it. And it looks like he's just jumping into like a black hole. But this one's not nearly as deep. Aaronville was not exaggerating about the cenotes. It would be a grueling ordeal to climb out of one. Well, thankfully we made it here without incident. Let's not dally any longer. Village of the Hunt. Wuk Lamat's attention is divided between the perilously deep cenote and the Xibruq. Ready to head on in? Let's go. We're burning daylight. Voice dialogue? Probably not. I'm already guessing by the wide angle here. Yeah. Our first task should be finding the Elector. Hopefully our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly on us. The third promise in her retinue, I presume. That's us. You presume right. I seek the Dawn Servant's Elector. Then come and join us in the Garden of the Stars at the village center. Everyone's waiting for you. Now, the bigger question is, have the other claimants already arrived? Everyone? Oh, maybe because they're all cats. Maybe they're like, oh, we want to see the cat claimant. And who might that be? There's but one way to find out. Come, let's follow them. It's the fluffy cat tribe. Oh, is it actually going to take us there? Oh, damn it. Of course everyone else is here already. Why is Mamool Ja here? That means nobody cared that he did something really bad. That's going to make me angry, actually.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
If I'd known we'd be waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with a Ligarmanda in the first place.
How is, like, Xibruq Ja or somebody else not, like, just striking this dude down right now?
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
Now that we are assembled,
No, don't interrupt her.
let us begin.
Get an answer out of that big asshole.
My name is Hunmuruk. As Xibruq Rash, I have the honor of serving as a lector on behalf of my people.
Huh?
As all 4 claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival. Third promise, if you would please join us.
Is it going to be like a game show? Jungle Jeopardy? Wheel of Fortune?
Thus far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat of repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
Oh, that's easy. Just take Kona. Although it's probably not going to take that easy route of picking him, because that's the obvious one. Maybe she has to actually work with Xibruq Ja this time?
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Be warned, only the triumphant team will receive keystones. I advise you to cooperate with your partner. Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
Oh boy. Is there a way to rig it so that you don't get the annoying guys?
God forbid Wuk Lamat is paired with Mamool Ja.
Yeah.
After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. I might even help.
Alisay's like, maybe I'll just kill him off to the side when no one's looking. I've saved an LB for this.
Claimants, please present your colors.
Oh, here we go. Red.
I have red. Blue.
Uh-oh.
On separate teams, then. And the rest?
Red.
Oh, okay.
Which means...
You got the easy option.
Together again, as fate would have it.
Victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their opposition.
Man, I'm still trying to get used to how Irian looks. Are his eyes bigger or something? I've already tried getting used to my own character, right? That's a different topic entirely. But named Elysin, like NPCs that are recognizable. I feel like Estinian looked more or less, granted we haven't seen him very often, but when I've seen Estinian, he looked more or less the same. There's something about Urianger's eyes or something here that looks different, like off. I almost feel like he used to be squintier or something. It's almost like his eyes are too wide or too like white or something now.
Not the one head.
Oh boy, these guys are gonna have fun.
Listen well, for the trial that awaits you is as follows.
Oh, what if they do what's the thing that people used to do in like school, like silly park games where it's like you tie each other's legs to get, not legs, one leg, like your left leg with their right leg, and then you have to like walk at the same time, like coordinated and all that shit.
Each team is to prepare a sample of traditional Xibruq cuisine. Xibruq Pibil.
What? Is that another name for taco? Just watch like Zoral Ja know how to make it or something.
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
I didn't describe it well. Yes, a three-legged race is what I was talking about. I used the most, far too many words to describe essentially just a three-legged race.
Our promises have grown rather promising, wouldn't you say?
What? They didn't do anything yet, Thancred. You jumped the gun. What if one of them already knows how to make the stuff?
Indeed. If I were to guess at the significance of the feat...
Oops. Oh, shit. Let's skip.
Few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes
God
in
damn it.
Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes.
I was... I'm so mad. I was literally thinking in my head, please don't mention Garlean food. You know there's other food that you could think of. These twins are such weeaboos for Garlemald everything. You're done with the area. They're off to their own devices. Learn something new. Stop obsessing about Garleans. I think both of you have a problem.
The peoples we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink.
Mm-hmm.
The Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living. So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
Uh-huh.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture.
Yeah. I mean, right. Is this supposed to be like an epiphany, though?
Is this what Father intended for us all along?
It's pretty obvious. Now, don't make me, the player, feel like a genius for already understanding that and them having to be like, could this be what the point of this is? Okay, come on.
But a leader with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing innovation, not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future.
Mm-hmm. He still doesn't get it, though. Traditions are important to all these people.
The rules are simple.
You don't just do away with them. Maybe you augment them.
The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Xibruq Pibil will be deemed victorious.
Xibruq?
You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques.
I want to know what this shit looks like. So, like, what's the actual real-life equivalent of this food?
Kitchens have been made available for your use. Note that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster.
So are we just watching? I mean, these are just the contestants doing this. Unless, please don't make my poor character have to go get ingredients.
Repast begin.
It's like Food Wars, but with Final Fantasy. Food Wars is such a ridiculous anime.
I've never actually heard of Xibruq Pibil before. It's a lighter wonder.
How fortunate that this feast's unique stipulations have frustrated Mamool Ja's attempts to delay us. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Why doesn't he just compete fairly? Because he doesn't want to. He's plenty strong and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Why are we not arresting him? I don't like... Okay. If it wasn't a legendary beast that even Mamool Ja had a hard time containing, if it wasn't that, I wouldn't really care. But he unleashed the equivalent of like a... Well, not Bahamut. What if we fought that's... Maybe like a Ravana? No, Ravana's like weaker. I'm trying to think like what level. Something in between. That could have like killed a lot of people. And he wasn't supposed to do, so it's already like essentially against the law to release the thing. I don't get why he gets to run off scot-free and everybody just in the narrative just goes, oh, you asshole. and that's it. Like, he just got away with it. There's people that have been arrested in various nations in this game for far less than what he just pulled. This thing was like a big deal. And I don't get why they're not more mad that he did it. I'll never understand him. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see it, our team possesses a distinct advantage. Of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. No, me. It's me. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. Or is she trash talking your brother? Precisely. You mean we have an advantage in numbers, yes? Our competition has a team of 6, the 2 claimants, Xibruq Ja and Mamool Ja's lackeys. Whereas we are a team of 9. That's 3 more people than we can mobilize. We should be using those people effectively. He's got a good point. With the tasks suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble necessary ingredients. Too easy. Well, we mustn't be overconfident lest we make a careless mistake that could be easily avoided. See, Kryl knows what's up. That's exactly what's gonna happen, probably. We're like, we got this in the bag, and don't make food at all, or forget, or something. Our first order of business should be determining the recipe for Xibruq Pibil. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Who's got a phone and the equivalent of Google? Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less effective than simply observing the daily habits of the Xibruq people. I mean, couldn't you do both? You have enough people for it. Let us gather here once we've seen what clues this village has to offer. I mean, have 1 or 2 of us actually ask for the recipe. At least. Alright. Colorful spices. I wonder what this meal is going to look like. A number of spices, some entirely unfamiliar to you, are nestled in a basket. Ah, that one's called achiote. We mostly use it to add a bit of color to our most popular cuisine, but its medicinal benefits are significant as well. Ripe banana peel. Don't slip on it. Wow, that is a really bright banana. What the hell? Thought it was like a butterfly. An unusually colored banana peel has been neatly arranged on the ground, which appears to be smoking. What? Smoking? Oh no, it appears I've gone and dropped my Najul. I mean, Jatika banana peel. Like, does he not want to tell us what it's actually called? I could barely see it for all the steam issuing from my underground oven. Ah, there's nothing like enjoying a tasty banana while you use leaves in your cooking. Why are these things italicized? Is that the clues we're supposed to be picking up? It almost seems like he's trying to give... Okay, so either they're trying to be nice and give us clues, or the game is also telling us, remember these things. So one or the other. Underground cooking. Dig a hole, put it in. What is it, Urianger? He's like, I don't get why they're doing this. He's doing the typical Ellison, like, what the fuck is happening here? Why are they digging stuff and putting it underground? Hubigo Guardian. We ought to cut our losses and head for Mamuk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. You're the fool if you think he won't tan our hides for leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we've taken from the house cat before. How difficult could a second time be? Let me just crack my knuckles right behind you guys so you'll notice me. What are you looking at, salt liquor? Mind your own business. Salt liquor? Man, you're gonna be licking the pavement if you're not careful. I'm gonna kick your ass. The recipe for Xibruq Pibil. I wish I could tell you, friend. A dish so delicious, it's meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything. Orders from Hunmu Ruk himself. But your mentioning it has given me a fierce craving. I only hope there's still Xibruq to be had at the market. Wink. Oh, okay, so they are helping us out. It's not us actually picking up on things. It's them just very heavy-handedly telling us, this guy is tired. He is taking a nap. Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover about Xibruq Pibil? True to your prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us, or directly. However, many were still preparing it as one might a staple dish. An observation of their techniques yielded clues enough. A lady blending local herbs and spices was only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation to Xibruq Pibil. But one in particular she attributed to all common Xibral dishes, achiote she called it. Oh, you get some overlapping information here. I see. Then if Xibruq Pibil is indeed a dish as ubiquitous as Alphino claims, we have confirmed our first ingredient. Meanwhile, I did observe a cook burying bundles wrapped in the leaf of Najul or banana in certain localities. It would seem the use of subterranean ovens is commonplace. I saw the same. I think we all know what's inside those bundles then, don't you? So what's the meat or the protein of this thing? Xibruq, without a doubt. A sizzling slab of beef. It smelled so good I could practically taste it. Wait, really? The squeaky flesh of a bipedal fish. Could I actually smell it? I'm just gonna say this one. I would like it to be beef on the inside. I think you're Aaronville. I think you were smelling what you wanted to smell. Cattle is uncommon in Turali and unlikely to be an ingredient used in Xibral traditional cuisine. Aww. Still want that slab of beef. Okay, so it's Xibruq then. It's the only thing that has a unique name. So what the hell is Xibruq? As would be expected of a dish called Xibruq Pibil, indeed. What the hell is it? Is it like a deer? So to summarize, this dish is one of Xibruq, flavored with a combination of spices that include achiote and steamed underground within Najul or banana leaves. Given our assumptions are correct, we must now learn where and how to procure our ingredients. As a staple cuisine, its ingredients would be close at hand, which is why Thancred and I scouted the surrounding forest while you were all exploring the village. Thank you. Do we not have to actually get this stuff ourselves? Between the local vegetation and the wild Xibruq, we should have everything we need in regards to meat and spices. Leave it to a master gleaner. Yeah. He's like, uh-huh. With that, we should next divvy up our tasks. Well, some gather ingredients. Wait, I thought we already had the ingredients. They're gonna make me gather ingredients, aren't they? Others should ready the kitchen. I can help prepare the kitchen. That's easy stuff. Permit me to assist as well. Our ovens will doubtless require firewood, and I have some Still doing the Heaven's Word joke. I respect it. I have some experience in its gathering. I, too, shall be glad to volunteer mine aid. Then the rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I'm happy to lead someone to a suitable Xibruq if they'll perform the requisite deed. Alize? She's like, yes, let me kill something. As for the Najul leaves, I believe I'm capable of acquiring that much of my own. Cool, so I don't have to do anything? Be warned, you won't find Najul in these parts. They only grow in the Jatika heartland, forests far below these. Didn't he say this, since this is a staple food, all the stuff should be close by? That already goes against what he just said, if it's not close by. Huh, such an excursion might be time-consuming. Perhaps we ought to try bartering first. This feat encourages our communication with the locals, after all. Lamati, Gaddis, if you would accompany me on my errand? Okay. Thancred looks like he lost years. He actually looks younger. No better way to whet my appetite. Good, let's be about our task then. Come on, let's go and get those Najul leaves. The sooner we do, the sooner we eat. Okay, things are ramping up. A history of violence. Kona has the look of a man intent on finding bananas. Okay, instantly diffuse that title with silliness. Let us see if there are Najul leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Urianger mentioned might be persuaded to spare a few. Oh, hello again. Did you need something? Gotta find an Xibruq. Oh, no, we need the Najul leaves. Najul leaves for purposes other than Xibruq Pibil, naturally. Unfortunately, I've just used up my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forest for more. Goljamik Grove is the source of the finest Najul leaves you'll find. Wild variants you see sometimes in the city markets can't compare. I see. I'd hoped to avoid such a lengthy venture, but if there's no other way to obtain our ingredient, then to the Jatika heartland we shall go. Dungeon? Allow me to save you the trip. Wait, what? Is he just gonna give us some? Traveling there requires that you go through the Tinbeck Traverse, but it has been caved in due to the recent storm, I expect. What? But that means we can't get our Najul leaves. But we can, can't we? If there was no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat or else altered its objective. Perhaps? Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You may find Xibruq Pibil to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. I want to know what this looks like. I can't wait. So we gotta steal some leaves? Is that it? I can steal. Still, if there's no leaves here and we can't travel for more, how are we supposed to gather all the ingredients? These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and cultures of Tuliyollal. So perhaps there's something about Xibruq Pibil that we've yet to learn. Something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Ah, I see. Like, who was the first to make it? Its history, that sort of thing. Oh, cue the Wikipedia. Ahem. If it's Yaktail's history you're interested in, you should start with the Old War. Between the Xibruq and Mamool Ja, right? These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know Xibruq Pibil. Is it like a food they ate when they were done fighting one another? Huh? What does steamed Xibruq have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of a settlement ruined by the war, the village of Ilian Asso. It lies a short distance to the east. The village of Ilian Asso? Understood. Thank you for your help. Come, let's go see this place. I don't know. I don't think that Bakulja Ja is going to be interested in any of this shit. And he's probably just biding his time to steal a big batch of whatever the fuck we're making once it's done being made. Because that's the kind of asshole he is. This place got fucked up. Don't know if we're finding banana leaves here. So this is the village of Ilian Asso, or what's left of it. It was a place of light and life. My great-grandfather called it home, in fact. Oh, this guy again. Is he stalking us? Wuk Evu, I didn't know you were in Yaktel. I was picking up lumber from Xibruq when I heard the third promise was on her way to the site of deep historical significance. I immediately saw another opportunity to be of service, and so I followed you here. How about you tell us what Xibruq Pibil is? Wuk Evu is a shipwright who came to our aid during the feat of reeds. Did Kona not see him? Oh, I guess because Kona just made that bottle of, like, super miracle grow on his own. A pleasure. You are the member of the Third Promise's retinue, I presume? For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Second promise. Wait, is he second or fourth? What's the numbering here? Kona, that's a good name. A familiar name. Where have I heard... Oh, this guy's gonna freak out. Where have I heard that name? Kona, as in the second promise of Tuliolal? To think I addressed the Dawn Servant's own son as some common retainer. Such disrespect, it cannot be excused. Please, take up your gun and... shoot him. Come on, not this again. I take no offense, so please do not dwell on it. Alright, then I shan't dwell on it. And right on cue, like, at least it's consistent. I feel like this kind of gag is like, I don't know if it's necessarily lost in translation, but you know how certain cultures, like, when I used to go to Japan a lot, like, every year for like 2 weeks until COVID hit, and then I stopped going to Japan, but now I should probably just go back to Japan again. I watched a lot of, like, daytime TV, those little entertainment, like, shows of theirs, and I feel like the kind of humor that this guy does reminds me of, like, one of those, like, the TV celebrity types. They're trying to, like, be almost, like, cartoonish with the behavior. It's very hard to describe, but I feel like when it's translated into English, it's still silly, yes, but I feel like it's probably funnier in Japanese. Well, at least that's my guess. And right on cue, at least he's consistent. I understand you wish to learn about Xibruq Pibil. While I am forbidden by the Xibruq Rax to divulge any information regarding its preparation, I would be happy to share what I know of the Yaktel's history. We'd appreciate that. In its most basic sense, the conflict between the Xibruq and the Mamool Ja was one of land. Okay, I guess land is a resource. I was going to say, it's usually almost always about resources, whether it's land or whatever's on that land. The Mamool Ja live in the lower forest, where the thick canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to covet the upper forest, the home of the Xibruq, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet advantage ever favors higher ground, and the Xibruq forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them time and again. But as this stateless village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you know all too well. Blessed siblings. You must understand, the Mamool Ja were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with others. The Hubigo, Bonewa, and Dopro each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged in the Xibruq in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage fighting, Hubigo and Bonewa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one could have imagined. So it was a political marriage that started the first, double-headed dude? It was long believed that partners of differing clans could not have children together. But then it happened. A child arrived who shared the blood of Hubigo and Bonewa both, a two-headed Mamool Ja. Blessed with a tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually rising as the first Autarch, ruler of all three clans. This sucks for that third clan that doesn't have, enough genes or whatever to make a two-headed. So only two of the three clans can actually, mix like that. The other one's just fucked, I guess. It's too lame to join in. Such qualities would dispose anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the Autarch's rule, the newly united Mamool Ja became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. I think it best you see the results firsthand. Let's visit another battlefield from that time, and I shall continue the tale. Can't use, my echo and, see it? I guess it has to be based off of somebody actually here. I just feel like standing in front of the thing and just talking about it is far less interesting than even seeing, the little sepia-toned, flashbacks, what happened or whatever. Oh, then everything got fucked. Just 2 feet away. Everything burned.
This is where most battles were fought between the Xibruq and Mamool Ja, the Shobrit Cinder Field.
A field of cinders, indeed. How fierce their clashes must have been.
The war over these lands began after the Yokui's departure some 500 years ago. And for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence, a constant stream of minor skirmishes punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
They must have been pretty fucking strong for that. Stopped all these armies from fighting.
First they sealed Valley Armanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
Oh. What the fuck was that? Was that a Lalafell? Oh, yay, Echo! Please give me Echo. Give me anything. I'll take it.
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
He kind of, it's funny, the voice actor kind of raises his voice a little bit, so he does kind of sound younger.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours! If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace!
Buff your tails and scurry off then! Cowards like you ill deserve the bounty of this forest.
Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives. Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance? You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us.
But here's Rogadin.
Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
Oh, that's Ketenram, I guess, huh?
He's from across the ocean.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end?
So he got them all to stop fighting because he's like, hey, like a cat, like jingling keys to a cat, like, hey, this visitor from somewhere else, cool, right? You'll stop fighting if I show you this visitor, right?
That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then?
Wait, was he doing like a fear-mongering thing? All these people from the other side of the world are gonna come and take all your shit because they're stronger than you. That means we have to stick together, right?
You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest.
Was this before or during Garlean's massive, like, takeover of everything?
By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe.
Yeah, that's not the... I mean, it is an argument. It's not the greatest argument because this always just sounds like a temporary thing. Because you're not really fomenting any particular peace between people. It's just basically, I don't want to die, so I guess I'll deal with you.
There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda.
Also, if you had a representative of these boogeyman like people from across the sea that are so technologically advanced that are going to take over, would you trust the guy that has one of them as a buddy if you're that xenophobic? That might be like a negative to your argument.
What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Pelu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, we only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Alright, I get it. Everybody has something to bring to the table.
Those strengths are born of cooperation. The guiding principle of the nation we envision.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands?
It's not like the fucking love and peace stuff that Wuk Lamat is talking about. This guy was using a very, like, crafty... It's like, hey, if you don't band together, something bigger and badder is going to kill you. It's not actual peace. It's just like live and let live.
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
And then apparently they did. That's good, because now I don't have to hear this guy talking about it. I witnessed it for myself. Oh, so who was the tiny person that I got the echo from?
So began that legendary banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamool Ja partook of spiced meat, and the Xibruq steamed najul. Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawn servant laughed and declared once more,
It's basically Turali Thanksgiving. That is what it is. Unfortunately, we all know how that went. So, does that mean which party got screwed over later on, huh? Maybe the Mamool Ja?
their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
That's Xibruq Pibil, I'd wager.
What the hell is it? Random stew.
It is a marriage of Xibruq and Mamool Ja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation. The Dawn servant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn servant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Is it sometimes his accent is heavier than other times? Yeah, silly story, right?
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd.
He didn't do it with the food, though. It was the fear of other people coming and taking your land. That's literally what it was. The food was like a secondary benefit. Like, oh, we won't be killed, and the food's kind of good. Okay.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Xibruq Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely.
It still didn't tell us how to make it, though. What the fuck? You must understand. Understanding how it's historically relevant does not teach you how to make the dish. Has nobody watched like a cooking show? It's like,
what's wrong?
You still need to know how to make it. Uh-oh. Wait. No, did I tell them about the person?
Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.
Gaddis is the only one that's like, this is going to be a problem. I'm sensing this is a problem. Look, when the Warrior of Light can't stop looking in one direction, you should probably take it seriously, right? Papa really did live up to his words. He traveled the lands and learned about our people's myriad cultures. And we're doing the same now. I mean, do you learn about... Okay, he did learn about cultures enough to have one representative from each people so that they could do a super move that would basically undermine everybody else. But do you really need to know that much about peoples to just fearmonger and broker a peace from that? I mean, that probably works with a lot of different cultures. You just scare them into signing something. Ooh, I get a gift with this one. The Feet of Repast. Bananas still weigh heavily on Kona's mind. Wuk Evu has given us valuable insight to the origins of Xibruq Pibil. However, we're still no closer to procuring the necessary Najul leaves, unless... Tell me, was that historic feast commemorated in some fashion? With a monument, for instance? Indeed it was. Allow me to show you. A bunch of abandoned weapons that are probably super rusty. Here it is. Offered up by the two factions, these weapons symbolize their vow that they would never again raise arms against each other. Since this feat demands a journey through history, I thought it only logical that a monument like this might steer us true. Especially one at the heart of so significant a battlefield. Lamati, Gaddis, would you help me search this area for clues? Tell me if anything catches your eye. Sure thing. Let me check 0 of 3 things for clues. Swear to God, if it actually is. Let's see. Oh. Look here, this soil has been recently overturned. Is it just somebody put a bunch of banana leaves underground? Just to make it easier for us. Oh my God, someone buried a box. What if you hadn't dug right there? Well, I would have been satisfied to find only a hint, but here there are fresh Najul leaves. Hunmu Rook's doing, I wager. There's a poetry in hiding them on his battlefield, given that it was central to the war they helped end. That's a big battlefield. You got really lucky finding it there. Ha! So he planned this all from the start. Thank you again, Wuk Evu. We wouldn't have found these leaves without your help. It was my honor to render assistance. And with apologies to present company, allow me to offer my encouragement as well. Third promise. Ever since I witnessed your performance in the Feat of Reeds, I have been certain that you are the claimant most worthy of leading our nation. Though all devised solutions to the Hanohanu's ailing crops, you alone sought to know their culture and revive Ihana, even if it seemed unrelated to your task. You know, if I'm thinking back to that whole ritual parade thing, it's a little weird that this non-Hanu totally understood that the parade float generated ether that would be put into a bigger statue to be rained upon the land to give them energy to get their crops going. But none of the Hanu knew that? Because remember, they're all surprised as hell that the parade actually made their reeds grow. But there's two things I'm questioning that. One, anytime you see the parade happen, wouldn't you see the reeds growing from the ether? So you'd already know that that works. And two, if they didn't know that that was a etheric result of the parade float, how the hell did he know? And then why didn't he tell them that? He's just leaving these people in blissful ignorance of what the parade float is actually accomplishing. That's a little weird when I actually start thinking about it. I don't know if I like the parade concept as much when it's this dude was just willfully withholding information from the people of that area. That, hey, if you got your float repaired, it would probably bring your crops back. He just went oh, I got other things to do, I guess. Learn about customs and shit. Just let these people starve. I kind of don't like that. Now that I've ruined it for myself, just thinking about that. Ugh. In my humble opinion, no one cares more for the people of Tuliolal and what they hold dear. I mean, that's kind of unfair to say. You just kind of shat. You just shat on Koana right there. I mean, he probably worked hard to make that little, like, miracle grow for the plants. It just is a different method. Should you again require the historical musings of an old shipwright, I'm ever at your service. I'm sensing some favoritism from this guy. That's not fair. For now, I take my leave. For as much as Wuk Lamat is always like, I want peace, I want to know people, yay, love and peace, like, you know, Trigun or whatever. I feel bad for Kona because he says his spiel a lot, like, I want to help people, I want to innovate, I want to bring innovation to everyone. And meanwhile, everybody else is like closing their ears going, la 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 la, I can't hear you, Kona. What? Oh, did Wuk Lamat say something? It's like everybody's kind of shitting on Kona. I don't know if it's intentional or not. He's got some valid things to say, and they just shut him down way faster, but they let Wuk Lamat like stumble and throw up and do all this stuff everywhere. It's not fair. Justice for Kona. We have what we need. Let us return to Xibruq. See, now you just made him depressed. See, Gaddis is mad. He's like, I don't like how that all went down. Gaddis frowns whenever favoritism is present. Again, I don't think these things are on purpose, but it's like, it's kind of revealing itself to me unintentionally. He was very effective in solving the problem there. And what's funny is they were like, yeah, I guess you fixed it, but this other one has a float. It's like, but he did a really effective solution. One drop of that fucking Miracle Grow potion solved everything. Imagine if you just poured that shit out everywhere, you know? He's getting a raw deal. It's one of the few times I say justice for Catboy. I'm glad we were successful. The others should be back soon, I expect. I hope so. I'm famished. I want to see what this fucking dish looks like. I am very curious. Talk? Damn it. How did everyone fare? We got the Najul leaves. Wuk Evu came along and helped us find them. Wuk Evu was here. I would have liked to say hello. Yes, he gave us an important history lesson. And then I saw a person who gave me an echo. That Mamool Ja brought an end to centuries of warfare surprises me little. But to achieve said peace through cuisine is something else entirely. Again, not solely cuisine. I love how everybody's just glossing over the fear-mongering that was probably more effective. And them also kicking both sides' asses pretty definitively. Leave it to my old man to find the oddest of solutions. But how about the rest of you? Is our kitchen ready? Everything should be in order. Urianger and I made another tour of the village and borrowed cooking utensils we need, with no mention of what we needed them for, of course. And I am pleased to report that we are stocked with the finest firewood this forest had on offer. Spoken like a true expert. Erinville and I found our Xibruq, so we should have meat aplenty. Did Alice go crazy and like kill too many? It was a spirited creature, so much that its hunter fell down a cenote trying to catch it. Oh. What part of never speak this to anyone did you not understand? Oh, Erinville, you've got a death wish. I picked a good portion of local herbs with particular attention to the seeds that yield a chiote. I'm told our resident astrologian divined the appropriate measurements for the seasoning as well. Though further inquiry did I determine the ideal balance of spices. So they actually figured this stuff out? And all that remains is to prepare the dish itself. I presume that at least one of us is versed in the culinary arts? I don't know what level my culinarian is. Probably not super high. I can hardly claim profound skill, but I've cooked for myself. You can leave the rest to me. Wait, that's kind of a general term. You just made yourself like a bagel? How do you cook for yourself, Krile? And you, I hope, I could use your adventurer's grit when it comes to skinning the Xibruq. Yeah. Give me the gross part of the job. Oh, my mouth is watering already. Without further delay, then. Do you get a cooking montage? A la Food Wars? See everybody at their stations doing their respective stuff?
Oh, it smells so good.
Let's see what this shit looks like. Is it
Good.
just a
There is
stew?
still time. I shall prepare our sample at once.
I hope theirs taste bad.
At first, I wasn't sure about being stuck with the one head. But better that than playing nanny to the mewling house cat.
Odd.
Be quiet, Buckle Jaja. No one cares what you think.
Act tough all you like. Victory will be ours.
It's ready.
What is that? Are those individual servings? So they're put in like a taco. What? Is that like a soft taco? What does the meat taste like, I wonder?
Apologies for the wait. We submit to you our Xibruq Pibil.
You know it would be amazing, but it's not this. If they basically made birria tacos, but I don't know how how good birria tacos would look like in 3D form, because they're always like greasy and dipped in the stuff, so it might not look great like as a 3D prop, but they taste amazing.
This looks amazing!
The dish is prepared by using the culinary techniques of the Mamool Ja to cook the spiced meats favored by the Xibruq. It is a symbol of peace between their two peoples after centuries of war.
That's acceptable.
Both the ingredients and your methods appear to have been correct. Now then.
I mean, you have the benefit of Urianger. He's so fucking smart. He could suss all the ingredients and portioning out pretty easily, I'm sure. It's so tiny. It's too spicy.
In taste, texture, and aroma, you have recreated Xibruq Pibil admirably.
Is that good enough?
Granted, anyone might well achieve similar results by following the recipe to the letter.
What?
But you went a step further. You sought to learn the cultural significance of the dish, about Yoctel's history of violence and your father's role in ending it.
Couldn't the other team just repeat the same thing? It's not like you could challenge them and be like, did you really learn this? Because they didn't verify how we learned it.
Your willingness to take lessons from the past befits aspiring Dawn servants. And for that, I commend you. All that remains is to partake of your creation. True understanding is gained only through experience.
Now this is something I'm definitely good at.
What if she's not good with spicy food? That she ends up, like, not enjoying it.
Ahem. I believe we have yet to receive our assessment.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Ours is also a faithful example of Xibruq Pibil, as you will no doubt agree.
I mean, they're Mamool Ja themselves, right? So maybe they already knew the recipe. Another tiny taco? Oh. 2 bites, done.
I see.
Oh, wait. Unless it's secretly amazing or something.
While your effort looks the part, unlike the second and third promises dish, it lacks its defining aroma.
They didn't do the achiote or whatever. Oops.
Preposterous! The meat was marinated and spiced before being steamed in an earthen oven. This is Xibruq Pibil.
Oh? And what about the Jatika banana leaf?
Oh, they missed that, huh?
It's because of you that we couldn't get any damn leaves! You can't fault us!
But the second and third promises had no such difficulty, did they? That which they needed, they acquired simply by showing interest in our history and heritage.
Well, they also had a cheating, like, secondary person that told them a bunch of stuff. Noticeably, that dude didn't pop up when these guys needed information. So let's be honest. Like I said before, the story clearly has favoritism. I do feel a little bit bad for Xibruq Ja, because it's not like he was cutting corners.
Ugh, it's just some crusty old leaf. What difference could it make?
Your dish lacks an essential ingredient. As you have failed to demonstrate an adequate understanding of Xibruq Pibil, I must deem your performance unsatisfactory.
So what, is he going to beat this guy up to take the keystones?
Keystones.
This was stupid anyway.
The guy just dropped his accent to say that. Hmm? What's going on there? Oh, because she can sense the stuff.
His ambition only grows more intense. That someone could harbor such dark thoughts towards family.
Wait, is she just saying this out loud? Wouldn't he look over and be like, "Excuse me, are you reading my mind without my consent?"
What do I care for this sham of a feat? I can always take what I need later.
Well, that's dumb. I mean, we knew that you were going to try to steal stuff, but to just blatantly announce it, wouldn't that mean people would just naturally be on their guard constantly waiting for him to do something stupid like that? You basically got rid of your element of surprise. God, he's dumb.
This is delicious! The brook is so tender it melts in your mouth, and the way the najou leaf rounds out these spices is sublime.
That's the Food Wars reaction to, like, eating something delicious.
This is the taste of harmony. Someone who only knows brute force and deception could never appreciate it.
Don't rub it in. He still has your fucking keystone, so don't act like you're that far ahead.
Choke on your harmony.
Come. Finish your meal. That too is part of the feat.
You don't have to tell me twice.
He adjusting his glasses there?
Ah, that was bliss.
It was palatable enough, I suppose. To you, who have successfully performed the feat of repast, I present these keystones.
All right. Oh, it's like a banana flavor.
Only 1 feet left.
That is the worst of the candies. I never liked banana flavored candies when I was little. Some people I know that really like them for some reason. I don't get it.
Well, I should get going then. I'm glad that I wasn't paired with one of the others.
We can do better than that, surely.
Alright, see you later, husbands.
The 6th keystone is ours. Thanks for all your help, everyone. I forgot something important.
What? Something tells me it's not that important.
Was there any Xibruq Pibil left? I could really use another helping.
Wait, what? Was that the important thing, or was it she just didn't want to say the important thing? Because that wasn't that important. Spoilers. Alright. Let's move on. That was so good. I'm already looking forward to having a Xibruq Pibil again. Here, Gaddis. Kral made more using leftover ingredients. You'll love it. Oh, that's the gift? I'm thinking to buy more for the road myself. Now that the feat of repast is over, the villagers should be free to offer it to us, right? Ah, wait, that's such a small... Oh, wait, it's actually a home item? Alright, now we're talking. I'll accept that. Get in my house right now. Actually, wait, well, after this quest. A father's grief. Uh-oh, wait. The next feat awaits, and Alphino would have you on the road as soon as possible. What is the grief? That's not a good sign. Seeing as we now face the penultimate objective of the rite, it would be wise to travel to Mamuk and undertake the feat of the Brotherhood without delay. Oh, this is his hometown, so maybe that's what they mean by that. You're gonna hear the history of the Papa. Wise, yes, but impossible. The Tynebeck Traverse, which connects the upper forest to the Jaktika heartland, is still impassable. Is there no other route? I'm afraid not. Work to clear the path is underway, though, so I'm hopeful we can resume our journey soon. Maybe the journey is another dungeon. Then let us each use this time as we see fit. I'm just gonna go eat some tacos. I, for one, would like to explore the village's surrounds. If Aaronville would oblige me with a tour? Very well, I have no other engagements. Then I'll come with you, if only to prove that I am capable of keeping my footing. Though I shouldn't rejoice in our delay, it does afford me an opportunity to look into my grandfather's purported visit to Yaktel. Ah, that's right. Mablu did say something about a foreign mage coming through here decades back, didn't she? I'll come with you. Want to join us, Gaddis? Do I have a choice? No! I guess I don't. Let us reconvene here after our respective diversions. I wanted to go back to my house and drop off the tacos, goddammit. Oh well. As I recall, the merchant met my grandfather at a market in Yaktel some 20 years ago. Any who might reliably remember him must therefore be at least middle-aged. Let's make inquiries while we can. I guess there's not like a lot of Lalafell around, so maybe that would stand out a bit. Foreign mage, 20 years ago? Ah, yes, I remember him. It's not often we get visitors from across the salt, let alone those traveling with infants. A baby girl, as I recall. I only saw him in passing, mind. If anyone was to know more, I'd wager it would be Hunmu Rook. He was already Xibruq Rax then. Baby girl? He couldn't have been. Thank you, sir. That information is very helpful. Baby? Is that her mom? Oh, look at this tiny manatee! Oh, look how cute it is. Petite Panuti. There he goes. Got a little moss on his back for some reason. Okay. Hello again. Do you require assistance? A foreign mage passed through Xibruq roughly 20 years ago, possibly carrying a young child. Do you remember him? Why do you ask me this? Who is this man to you? I mean, it's probably pretty obvious, right? He may have been my grandfather, and I wish to know what brought him here. Your grandfather? Not by blood, but he is family nonetheless. Wait, not actual grandfather? I thought it was. A foreign mage did indeed visit Xibruq, Master Galuf. Okay. That's what we were hoping for, right? So far as his identity is concerned, I trust you are satisfied? Is that it? You're not going to say anything more? What? More than that, however, I cannot say. Why? Can't or won't? Why not? I simply cannot. I beg your forgiveness and understanding. Very well, I will not press. Thank you for confirming his presence here. The rest I will discover myself. Out of more general curiosity, I have another question. They say the Yakhui once dwelled in these forests. Where was that exactly? General curiosity indeed. But yes, before they withdrew to Urkapacha. Many of their architectural remains can be found in the lower forests, the Jatika heartland. And that's where they must have had their visions. Oh, going in that crazy Tron forest, dreaming about the city of gold. Thank you, that answers much and more. I understand what it means to long for one's family, so believe me when I say that, though your position forbids me from aiding you further, I wish you nothing but success. Wait a minute, is that a clue in and of itself? He can't tell her about Galuf, but they've already made it clear they can't give us any information about the City of Gold. So does that mean Galuf is just basically in the City of Gold? By helping the Third Promise find the Golden City, you will surely find the answers to your questions. Oh wait, did her grandfather come back and like die in Charlian though? There's so many people that go off somewhere and then never come back. I can't remember if that was also her grandfather that did that. All these mysterious, like, deaths in question mark. Speaking of which, I have a query of my own for you, Gaddis. May I request a moment of your company? Okay. Go on, we'll wait for you. Maybe I won't answer your questions. How about that? How do you like that, Mr. Catman? Thank you for obliging me. First, let us head to the cenote behind this village. It was my intention to see you off without saying anything, but Mistress Krau's plea has softened my resolve. Give me a hint? As the leader of our community, I am gladdened to see that the Third Promise has surrounded herself with such compassionate and trustworthy companions. Would you tell me of her journeys thus far? Well, she's getting sick a lot when we travel, and womp 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 womp. Is that so? It seems the ride has been a source of great learning and growth for Wuk Lamat. It does me well to hear that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. This isn't like her dad, is it? I just looked at his hair color. This is gonna be like, she's actually my daughter, and I just didn't have the heart to tell her any of this shit. I wanted her to win. Favoritism, you know. That's why I said her tacos were the best. Oh. Okay. But obvious then, now that I think about it. My daughter would be about her age. Girls are rarely born amongst the Xibruq, so when she arrived, the village was elated. Such joy I felt when I first held her, and pain when I found her at the bottom of a cenote. 3 years old, an accident, it was said, but I knew better. She had been pushed. What? By who? The mom? I noticed the mom is absent. Though we had never caught them, a suspicious figure was seen fleeing towards the Jatika heartland, towards Mamuk. Once bitter enemies, the Mamool Ja and Xibruq had learned to live in peace. But who could doubt the intent of such a reprehensible act? By targeting the child of who would one day lead her people, the criminals sought to undermine the future of the Xibruq. How did they know... Wait a minute. By targeting the child who would one day lead her people? Was she predestined to be a leader? Or I guess he's the leader, so she would inherit that? Questionable there. I was determined not to let them succeed, and so I let the memory of my daughter die in that cenote, and gave her into the care of the one person I knew who could protect her. Dawn servant Mamool Ja. So he was afraid that random shadowy figures would keep trying to assassinate her throughout her entire life? What if that was a whole scheme on the part of him? Like, you have a Mamool Ja act like they're doing some awful shit, so that means he gets pushed into the idea of saying, oh, I need to give her to somebody stronger to protect. And then Mamool Ja is like, haha, exactly what I wanted to have happen. Although he doesn't seem like the type to do that. Though she was born to lead the Xibruq, fate had a greater plan for Wuk Lamat. Where's the mom, though? Only the Dawn servant and I know the truth, but I must now take you into my confidence for one reason. If the villain who attempted to murder my daughter was indeed a Mamuk, then rancor towards the Xibruq still burns. I was caught off guard once, I will not suffer the same tragedy again. Ah, so that whole piecemeal thing maybe wasn't so permanently successful. And so I ask you, not as a Dawn servant's elector, but as a father, to watch over the third promise. Defend her from her enemies that may be lurking in the shadow. Will you do this for me? Okay. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Now I've had 2 dads confide in me now. Yeah, will you hear my question? Answer me plainly. Address me not as the ruler of Tuliolal, but a concerned father. Suffice it to say, this conversation must remain between us. Pray breathe not a word of this to anyone. So why did he pick me? We have a bunch of people with us. He could have picked any of us. Just because I'm the tall, dark and handsome one, and he's like, you must be powerful, I can just sense it. Oh no. Somebody listening in on that? Can nobody have a private conversation here? So someone else now knows the secret. Great. Dumb cat boy. Should have done it somewhere else. This is not a safe place to do this.